Hello, everyone. So, my name is Andrei, and I work at FlixBus, and today I'm going to cover Flix CitySnap project. So first, a brief overview of what is it all about. So as you might know, like Flix operate in over 5,000 cities. Right now in 4 continents, so basically Europe, North America, South America, and started from this year also Asia. So basically the task is very standard and like well known for all e-commerce travel companies. Basically we want to collect attractive photos for each city. So basically we want to have a data set where we have, let's say, attractive photos. I will define what it means later, labeled for each city. Why do we need it? Okay, there are like 2 main business cases. First, marketing. We want to have these photos for like social campaigns in Instagram, etc. And of course, like for e-commerce web platform, just to enhance users more, increase CVR, etc. to show these photos. Okay, sounds easy, but there are like some nuances which I would like to cover today. First, yeah, it's quite straightforward how to find relevant images. Again, I will cover it a little bit later. Second is how to actually verify the photo location. So we are targeting to build a fully automated pipeline, so we can't allow ourselves to have misqualified mistakes. For example, that we collect a photo thinking that it's from Berlin, but it's actually from Munich or whatever. It will be only discourage our users. And of course, like we have, as I said, several business cases, and for all business cases, we need different image resolutions. So basically, we need to find a way to automatically adjust image size. For now, we are placing our photos for our internal stakeholders for 4 image sizes. So we have like 4 image sizes, and we need to automatically adjust photos without loss any quality. So basically, model stack. Okay, by the way, how many people know what is Gemini is? Okay, approximately half. So basically, Gemini is kind of competitor of ChatGPT. Gemini was built by Google, but today, I show where like Gemini, at least I think that outperforms ChatGPT. Okay, let's go step by step. First, about like images collection. Note here that we use only CC images under CC 0 license or like public available license. It means that actually we can collect, modify, display these images without any annotations, etc. for commercial purposes. Because of this, we use Pixabay and Pixels because there are images all free to use. And also we use Wikimedia Commons as an image stock. So basically it's all images from Wikipedia, but again, we take only CC0 images. Of course, we all do this via API. These services have it. And we avoid Unsplash, probably the most popular image stock right now, because otherwise we will need to attribute the photos. And also, like, there are third-party services that can scrape the Google engine and give you some photos from the Google images, but again, we avoid it because it's kind of tricky in terms of license. Okay, so collecting relevant images. Basically, I thought it will be easier, but there are some nuances. So if you go to Pixabay and just type Munich, I'm not sure if you see, but the first image is just I type Munich in Pixabay and see the photos. So basically, Okay, there are like a lot of beer. Probably it's relevant for Oktoberfest, but yeah, in other season time, it's not attractive for users. Also, we have a plane, which for us kind of strange. Okay, with FlixBus, we promote buses, and here's the image with plane. So we need to somehow specify, because otherwise the search is too broad. Okay, let's pick a landmark. So in Munich, Marienplatz is a well-known landmark, and just type query search Munich plus Marienplatz. At this case, you will have much more specific results, and you're kind of sure that you don't have any beers as the photos. So basically, it's what we did. We think that like attractions is our most captivating and like iconic places at the city. Actually, in general speaking, it does not have to be only attractions. You can also try to find parks, I don't know, government buildings, etc. But yeah, so we discussed with our stakeholders, and yeah, I think it's kind of obvious that landmarks is probably most known attributes of the city, and like tourists like to visit them and can recognize a city by landmark. But now we need to garner the names of attractions for each city. Okay, this is actually much more straightforward. You can just use ChatGPT or any LLM model. Just ask ChatGPT, give me 5 attractions for cities, and go to image stack API, extract, I mean, in our case, we extract 5 photos for each attractions. As a result, we collect, in the best case scenario, 25 photos plus description of attraction. Okay. Yeah, but still not so easy like riding a bike in Germany. So there is a real real application business case when we were trying to collect photos for Chile last year. If you use the same approach, so here's the query Chile, Cacumba, Plaza de Armas. Cacumba is one of Chile city where currently Flix operates. You can see that only one of top 5 photos is actually belongs to Cacumba. It's even not Plaza de Armas, but okay, it's still the city. So we need somehow to find a way automatically verify that image is indeed show the city which we want. Okay, there we found 2 tools which can do it with relative good quality. First, it's kind of straightforward, Google Landmark Detection. So basically, as an input, you just upload a city image, and as output, you have a name of the landmark, geo coordinates, and like even confidence of prediction. Second is actually Gemini, which I talked before. So basically, it's I will say currently it's the only available multimodal via API. Multimodal, it means that you can simultaneously upload via API photo and text. So technically, ChatGPT 4 Turbo in preview model now also has this functionality, but let's say for now, its performance kind of suboptimal, at least for our task. For sure, probably later it will be better, but personally, I think for our task, like Gemini should perform better anyway, because Google has much more advanced and mature technology regarding detection, everything at the map. So basically how it works with Gemini, you just also upload a photo and also a prompt in which city this photo was taken or something like it. Actually, I will talk about prompts for Gemini later. But for now, sorry. Okay. The last part of our pipeline is smart cropping. For this, we use smart cropping tools from Google. It's called Google Detect Crop Hints. Basically, it's give you opportunity to, in the smart way, to crop your image for desirable aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is a proportional width over height of the image. And yeah, not that it does on the smart way. So for example, it might be you might to be tempted just to crop the center, like rectangle from the center of the image. But at this case, you, of course, might lose the quality and crop some objects. So again, here is a real business case where we were collecting photos for relatively like small or middle-sized cities in Italy. Trapani is it's a city in Italy, which is quite famous because of his mills. So basically here you can see that the target object, which is a mill, is not on the center of the picture. So if you just use center cropping, you will lose this object and the image will lose the quality. But yeah, so we use Google Smart Cropping tool, which could detect the main object, let's say, on the image and save it during the cropping. After that, we use just upsampling procedure. It's called line cross to convert image with desirable aspect ratio to target resolutions. I mean, you can have, let's say, target aspect ratio 1 by 1, then you crop your image to, I don't know, 200 times 200, but by business case, you need to have an image 100 times 100, and then you can just use upsampling procedure. It will not reduce the quality of image unless you have the same aspect ratio. So the whole architecture, let's revisit it. First, we just ask ChatGPT for attractions per city. Then we go to our image stocks, which are currently 3, Pixels, Pixabay, and Wikimedia. Extracting 5 images for per each attraction. Then we filter out falsely labeled photos, so misclassified, never mind. So false labeled photos using image validation techniques, as I said, Gemini plus landmark. Then we are getting target image resolutions using smart image resizing. And yeah, store the photos in Amazon S3 bucket, yeah, but it's not so important where you store. It's important that any internal business stakeholder now has access to these photos and just can extract photos for any city which he or she desires. Okay, the most probably interesting part of the presentation, so insights. First, I will say if you can just memorize one thing from this presentation, I will say that you may think that you can utilize LM models not only to generate data. I mean, of course, it's generative AI, and probably the primary goal of it just to generate a new content. But actually, you can think a little bit broadly about it and also find a way to use it as our case for validation. If you think about it, to build the similar project 2 or like 3 years ago, we will need to have at least 2 advanced deep learning models, at least for like city validation or something like it. Now we can use just API for proof of concept. of the LLM models. And it's actually like 2 lines of the code. And I believe this opportunity should speed up R&D projects, etc., and decrease the cost of it. Because indeed, the cost of such pipeline is very economical. So you can collect photos for Germany, for each city which you can find in Germany, for less than 10 years. Okay, the difference between Google Landmarks and Gemini. So basically, if you have a primary tool to do a validation, it's better to use this tool. So in general, I would recommend to use Google Landmark service over Gemini, but unfortunately, Google Landmarks does not perform well for cities in small and middle size, like less than 500K population. Probably because primary, it was not designed to detect landmarks, like local landmarks. It was more designed to detect well-known world landmarks. And surprisingly, Gemini on the small and medium-sized cities performs really well. So basically, like our approach for small and middle-sized cities, we utilize Gemini, and for like relatively big cities, we use Google Landmarks because, as I said, it's like more user-friendly and it gives you more. So actually, also one thing to notice is the difference between prompts. Actually, you can ask Gemini in a lot of different ways about a photo. So let's imagine that we want to verify the photo from Berlin. And you can ask as a prompt which city was this photo taken in. Was the city taken in Berlin, Germany, and even point out the landmark is a Berlin wall depicted in this photo. What's the difference? Actually, difference in results are very significant, because if you can think about it as a trade-off in machine learning between precision and recall. So basically, when you don't specify the city, you will get fewer positive results, because you don't point out somehow at the prompt regarding the city. But in this case, you will also get fewer false positive results. And once you specify the city, it's unavoidable that a model starts to give you much more positive results. And of course, some of them might be false positive. So there is like standard trade-off between precision and recall. It also depends what do you want from the project. Do you want collect as much as possible photos, or do you want collect photos as much as accurate? If you want collect photos as much as accurate, use the less broad prompt, namely like which city was this photo taken in, and don't provide the city name. If you want collect as much as possible and can tolerate false positive result, you can even provide a landmark name and just ask basically binary question: is a Berlin wall depicted in this photo or not? Also, one thing to note that you can use Gemini not only for validation. Even at this case, as I said before, for us it's crucial not to have any additional vehicles like transport vehicles at those photos, like Deutsche Bahn trains, planes, etc. And also we're asking, like we're adding one row in prompt and ask about is there any vehicle on this photo, and if it's yes, we just keep this photo, filter out. So actually using one prompt, you can kill two birds with one stone. And of course, like LLM industry is growing, and upcoming releases of LLMs are anticipated. Also, like Cloud 3, which is currently not available in Europe, but yeah, it's still very powerful model. ChatGPT, and Gemini itself will be only improving, and it will be also increase quality for our projects just for free. We just need to change in the code the old version of the model and the new, and it will be a significant value for us. So basically, it's all what I want to cover today. Thank you very much for your attention. Here is a QR code on my LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for your talk. While I open the digital questions, do we have questions here from the audience?
Hi, congratulations with your session, amazing. Did you try to ask something to ChatGPT and then ask the same thing to confirm if it's true or false on Gemini?
Yes, so actually I played with ChatGPT. I played with ChatGPT 4 when it was released without API, and I also played this year when API was available for multimodal. And I will say that for these cases, it's also false positive. So if you, ChatGPT probably is not a right tool to validate locations. So it's, for now, it performs really poorly.
Can I have one additional question?
Sure.
Have you tried Bing Copilot?
Bing Copilot, no, I did not try it. But is it have multimodal feature?
Yeah, it's like Google Gemini, but like Microsoft. But for Microsoft, I think it's based on GPT, but also with new data, and it's available in Bing search. Yeah.
But it's
have you never tried it? You should try
API,
it at least.
Is it available via API or?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think it's only incorporated in Bing. But
it can be that it's only online. Yeah, check.
Thanks.
I'm still trying to log in. Do we have another question from the audience?
So I have two questions, actually, that I wrote down, but the one is, why did you use GPT to retrieve the attractions, and then did you try to use Gemini for this?
I mean, yes, you can use Gemini. It's a relatively easy task for LLM. I assume any LLM, even like Llama, any open source LLM can do it. But the point that you still need to have two prompts because you cannot simultaneously retrieve landmark and already have a photo to validate it. And since you still need two prompts and to request in API, I just use ChatGPT because actually cost for ChatGPT is a little bit smaller than for Gemini.
Okay, but you didn't compare both of them.
You
in
mean
terms of
for landmarks?
No, for the attractions, both, but
yeah.
for the attractions, did you compare
for
GPT
attractions, no, I didn't compare because, yeah, here I, as I said, it's kind of simple task for LLM, and like any LLM will perform really well just to extract attractions. So.
And the other question was, did you, it's kind of the same, did you compare the performance of GPT in recognizing these landmarks versus Gemini? Do you have some insights on that topic?
Yeah, so as I said, I've compared it. Actually, I've compared three tools. It was not yet released Gemini when I compared it. So, but it was Vertex AI. It's kind of first version of Gemini. You can think about it. Then ChatGPT, and then just Google Landmarks. And at this comparison, so accuracy of LLM models was very close to zero. So basically, ChatGPT couldn't detect landmarks well. Of course, I'm talking about the data set for like small, medium cities again, because, okay, for Berlin, probably for Paris, any tool suits to extract photos, but again, we are more interested in more local cities. And for such data sets, LLM was performed really poorly, but then with Gemini released, I've reiterated on it. And yeah, Gemini performs well, but ChatGPT still not so.
We actually have a bunch of questions, but the first one upvoted is, why don't you just use a human to pick the pictures?
You mean to validate?
To choose.
I mean, as I said, it's 5,000 cities, so I mean, we will need a lot of humans to validate. And and the second, we want to have a flexibility for our promo campaigns, because imagine we now build kind of semantic search over internet and like over images. And right now, if we want to launch a promo, I don't know, regarding to Oktoberfest, we can just specify not landmarks, but Oktoberfest places in Germany, extract them, and have with 1 minute this like photos for promo campaigns ready to use. But if we want, if at this pipeline, once we allow human interactions, the speed and flexibility of the project became much less. So we just, our like primary solution here, just to automate it, to have the 100% flexibility on it.
So I will ask the batch of 3 questions because I think they are similar and there's not much time, but please check it out because there's a bunch.
Okay.
One is about the precision/recall values. What are acceptable for this use case? An interesting question about, I think, the prompt itself, about how do you structure the prompt for ChatGPT to give the output. And the third is, does the Gemini itself provide some sort of confidence on the city it detects?
No, confidence Gemini doesn't provide itself. You can some tune hyperparameters, but not straightforward. So the prompt for ChatGPT is very easy. Like give me a attraction for the, okay, you need just to specify for Berlin city or whatever. And for Gemini, as I said, yeah, it's the most important workaround with like Gemini prompts. As I said, so we used for, at least for now, we use the first prompt because, as I said before, we cannot tolerate false positive results. So for us, it's okay. We can tolerate that we might not find photos for any city, for every city, sorry. But it's like, okay, for us, the harm much more if we have false positive results.
Is it worth the effort? How many destinations do you have? And well, you have already answered that. And how often do you have to change it? And what is the business case? I think it was kind of well covered. And do you verify the images if they were stored?
Why I should do? I mean, no, I mean,
double check?
Triple check. No, I don't verify images after I store it. I reiterate algorithm for some cities, like let's say 1 time per quarter when we think we have still a room for improvement, and just trying to find the new images. But yeah, change. So basically, once like new release of Gemini will be, I will change the model, of course, on the new one and test it. But except this case, so I will say for now it's pretty stable because again, you can for extract landmarks, you can even use open source model. So it's not so crucial here. Crucial here it's image validation part.
Perfect. So big round of applause, and thank you so much for sharing your experience.